the table, but for you I'm ready and able. It's magic, a strange voodoo, but when you're near, the whole world turns to slow motion. The whole world turns to slow motion. The whole world turns to slow motion when you're in the room. Oh, slow motion, the way that you move. Tell your friends we got lost. Let's make our getaway now. Let's make our getaway now. Let's make our getaway. Hand on my heart, I led a full life of crime, but I would give it all back for you. I'd find a way, leave them behind. Tonight we're Bonnie and Clyde. We'll take our chance on the run. Let's make our getaway now. I know a safe house where we can stay. We need to leave before it's too late. Getaway now. Yeah, let's go all the way now. Let's make our getaway now. Yeah, let's go all the way now. Let's make our getaway.
When I'm furthest from myself, feeling closer to the stars, I've been invaded by the dark. I'm trying to recognize myself when I feel I've been replaced. When I'm furthest from myself, feeling closer to the stars, I've been invaded by the dark. Trying to recognize myself when I feel I've been replaced. contained, so pick me from the dark and pull me from the grave. 'Cause I still feel alive. It is hopeless. I start to notice that I still feel alive. Falling forward, back into orbit. Yeah. So when I lose my gravity in this sleepy room, drifting as I dream, I'll wake up soon to realize the hand of life is reaching out to rid me of my pride, call allegiance to myself. I can feel it kick down in my soul, and it's pulling me back to earth. Let me know I am not a slave, can't be contained, so pick me from the dark and pull me from the grave. 'Cause I still feel alive. It is hopeless. I start to notice that I still feel alive. Falling forward, back into orbit. Oh, and I still feel alive. It is hopeless. I start to notice. Oh, and I still feel alive. Falling forward, back into orbit. I can feel it kick down in my soul. It's pulling me back to earth, let me know. And this heart that beats inside of me will show. Floating in outer space, have I misplaced a part of my soul? Lost in the in-between, or so it seems I'm out of control. Floating in outer space, have I misplaced a part of my soul? Lost in the in-between, but it can't keep me asleep all along. 'Cause I still feel alive. It is hopeless. I start to notice that I still feel alive. Moving forward, back into orbit. Oh, I still feel alive. It is hopeless. I start to notice that I still feel alive. Moving forward, back into orbit.
I think one of the hardest things about going to MIT virtually is the fact that you're going to MIT virtually.
So over the fall semester, me, like many other people, experienced a difficulty acclimating to the new social situation, and it was really challenging getting used to that.
I found it really hard to connect with those that I was not living with, especially once it got colder. Going outside was hard, and so there weren't really any safe ways to see each other.
I would say the biggest challenge we faced was the relationships and connections between students and teaching assistants, professors, and everyone on the teaching staff of the course.
Because there are going to be 3 times as many people on campus as there were back in the fall, that's going to leave a lot more risk open to student compliance and ensuring that students are following and up to date with the rules.
As student body president this term, I know how hard it was to have a semester of COVID. We really want to make sure that the spring is different. This is why we are holding the MIT COVID Hack. This unprecedented event in which we bring admin and students together to come up with solutions for the spring will be huge in terms of making the spring semester much better.
Some of you might know that summer pods and pod lounges were actually student initiatives carried out through the UA. So really know that the possibilities really are endless.
MIT COVID Hack is this really unique opportunity where students can have a say in creating something on campus or online that they're going to benefit from 20 days later. It's this immediate impact and improvement to your own life on campus or off campus. And I think that that's super cool that we have an administration that's like right there willing to take your ideas and turn them into reality.
Going into spring, we have a lot more challenges to solve and we need your help. And I'm excited to participate in the MIT COVID hack that the UA is putting on and learn about all the great ideas you have, and ultimately we'd like to implement them. So I look forward to hearing what your ideas are and moving them forward.
This will be a great opportunity for you to share your ideas, express your creativity, and help us make MIT a little bit better. I hope you consider getting involved, and if you're already involved in a team, good luck.
The winning ideas will be implemented. And on top of that, you will get to choose from some amazing prizes. We will also have experts there to guide you along the way and some really amazing speakers. Of course, all participants in the event will also get the MIT COVID Hack swag. We need you to come up with good ideas for the spring. Nobody wants to have another version of the fall. We need to find great outdoor spaces for us to socialize in, find a way to socialize virtually, improve the remote learning experience, and increase student awareness and compliance of COVID policies. All of these tracks are so important, and I really hope that you decide to sign up. The MIT COVID Hack will be from January 8th to the 10th.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to MIT COVID Hack. My name is Kiara Wanshoft. I'm the UA Chief of Staff and this year's MIT COVID Hack Director. This has been a trying week for the United States of America, and thus for many in our MIT community. We hope that you are all taking the time and space to digest the events, prioritizing your mental health over all else. I truly hope that we can lean on each other in the coming days as we look forward towards the joy that this spring semester will hold. Whether you have no idea what you might end up pitching at the end of this weekend, or you already have an idea in mind, this weekend is for you. Whether you want to propose a change to MIT's practices, or you want to build a technical solution that MIT should adopt, this weekend is for you. And whether you're a first year who has never been to campus, or a senior who is now missing campus, this weekend is for you. All students here today can have an immense impact on what MIT looks like this spring. And the UA and MIT administrators are here throughout the whole weekend to support you in creating your proposals to do just that. As the UA Chief of Staff, I aim to connect our student government and ultimately our student body to avenues where we can make the change we want to see at this university. MIT COVID Hack is a unique and unprecedented opportunity for so many students to have their ideas directly heard by so many leaders at this institution. We are incredibly grateful to have the wonderful partners in the MIT administration who have helped us put on this event. Amongst the many who have supported us are Dean for Student Life, Susie Nelson, and MIT President, Raphael Reif. Dean Nelson has been integral to supporting MIT students, particularly in this past year where we have had to create community that looks very different than it has in the past. So we are so excited to have her here kicking us off today. A big welcome to Dean Nelson.
Oh, thank you so much, Kiara. And a huge thanks to all the UA student leaders who've been planning this event. I know how much work you've put into this, and it's just terrific. And thanks to the participants. It looks like we have a lot of people who are here to help us think about how to make spring 2021 the best that it possibly can be. You know, like Kiara said, it's been a really unusual and very difficult year. Certainly all of us have been impacted by the pandemic, but then you add to that this contentious national election that has just finished up, and just the deep-seated social justice issues that our country is facing and grappling with. And all of this kind of culminated this week in a surreal moment when a mob stormed our nation's capital. So for me, and I know for many of you, it's been one of the hardest years that I've had professionally. And every day there's kind of daily unknowns and change. And I think that's been what's been the most difficult, that everything has been different. But I will say the one constant for me, and what's really helped me get through, was working with students. Because when we asked students to come and help us, they just didn't flinch at this task of remaking student life. And as Kiara said, we didn't have a whole lot of time to remake student life. We had about 2 months from bottom up to think about how to do everything differently. And students showed up to so many meetings. And most importantly, they came with their optimism and their smiles and their ingenuity. So for me, the silver lining in all of this, if there can be a silver lining in a pandemic, is that we had students to help us think through all these problems. Now, the Division of Student Life, we have a really simple mission. We're here for students, and there's a lot of people behind the scenes who care deeply about working with students. And I just want to highlight one example that I think was so successful this year that actually was designed by students. It's our residential pod program, and many of you probably know what it is, but if you don't, I'll just tell you quickly. It's where in the residence hall where you live in your house, up to 6 students can come together in a group. And while you're in your pod, you can reduce your strictures. You can not wear your mask, and you do not have to be physically distant. So therefore, it makes it a lot easier to socialize with a group of people, to study, to eat together. And I will say this innovation was the single most effective way that we were able to reduce isolation in our residence halls this year and on campus. So today's, this weekend's hackathon is just another opportunity and just a long list of opportunities for us to work together and to think about ways to make campus life the best that it can be. Each of the winning teams of the 4 groups that have already been mentioned, the 4 areas, outdoor spaces, online community building, remote learning, and awareness of policies, each of the winning teams will be paired with a group of administrators. And that group of administrators will champion that team's idea and help it to be implemented. So I'm really looking forward to hearing your ideas. I know they're going to be great. And I know another person who's here with us tonight, our president, Rafael Reif, who is one of our strongest advocates for student life. He also is really eager to hear your ideas as well. So it is now my pleasure to introduce our president, Rafael Reif.
Thank you, Susie. Thank you for such a kind introduction. I'm honored to join you and everyone here this evening for MIT COVID Hack, the first and hopefully last COVID hack we would ever need. I hope all of you are safe and healthy wherever you are, and that you were able to enjoy time with those closest to you over the holidays. I look forward to welcoming many of you back to campus in the spring. For now, I'm delighted to see you, even if only through Zoom. A special welcome to Cambridge Mayor Sambol Siddiqui, who will speak a little later in the program. I cannot say strongly enough how deeply we have valued the city's partnership throughout this pandemic. We appreciate the mayor's leadership and are thrilled that she has taken the time to be with us this evening. One of the most important things we do in the MIT administration is work to try to make MIT student life and learning experience as enriching and meaningful as possible. It is not an easy job. And this year, of course, it has been especially challenging. But the dream team we call Team Chancellor does it beautifully. And I want to take this moment to thank Chancellor Barnhart, Vice Chancellor Waits, Dean Nelson, and their unbelievable dedicated colleagues for their hard work, their patience, their care, the creative problem solving this year and always. MIT is stronger because of you, and we are extremely grateful. I also want to acknowledge the outstanding team that organized this event, with a special shout out to the UA COVID Hack Team leaders, Danielle, Eugene, Kiara, and Mahira, and all the judges who will participate this weekend. And of course, a huge thank you to all the students with us this evening. We are all here tonight for the same reason, to build on what went right in the fall and make MIT even stronger in the spring. As Susie describes, partnership is the engine that makes MIT run. And the examples are endless. Students have leveraged the Mind, Hand, Heart Community Innovation Fund to come up with creative ideas to strengthen the fabric of our community. Without students, there would be no Random Acts of Kindness Week, or MIT Connect, or Puppy Lab, or Banana Lounge. And hey, we all know that MIT without a Banana Lounge is simply not MIT. This year, we have worked together to strengthen the ties between the UA committees and the administrative offices most closely aligned with their work. And of course, we have relied on all of you to inform our thinking and decision-making on all things COVID. And there has been a lot of thinking and decision-making. And so this weekend's event makes perfect sense. We will draw on the best of MIT students, your experiences, your insights, and your ideas to make MIT better. We will ask you to work together to develop thoughtful, actionable solutions to enhance our outdoor spaces, virtual communities, remote learning, and policies. Our esteemed judges will hear your pitches, and then we look forward to partnering with you to help make the winning solutions a reality. In short, COVID Hack is what Shark Tank wants to be when he grows up. None of us could have imagined a year like 2020. But if any university is going to figure out a way to thrive during this strange and disorienting time, it is MIT. We believe in data, we believe in each other, and we are committed to serving our community. In just a moment, I will turn the program over to COVID Hack Director Chiara Banshaft. But I will leave you with one final thought. Some of you are involved in Task Force 2021 and beyond, an effort to imagine and shape the future of MIT. The task force work is critically important, and I look forward to receiving its recommendations very soon. But in truth, the future of MIT starts tonight, and it starts with you. I'm grateful for the inspiring solutions I know will emerge this weekend, and cannot wait to see where you lead us. So with that, let's get started. Chiara, going to you.
Thank you so much, President Reif. I actually now want to pass it to Yujing and Mahira, both leaders of MIT COVID Hack, for some questions from the audience.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
We kind of want to learn a little bit more about you guys and where you're calling from and what you're all about. So we have some fun questions. Let's launch them.
All right, what's the first one? Okay, what kind of weather are you feeling today?
So we have some fun options here. Go pick your favorite weather.
Yujing, what's your favorite weather?
My favorite weather?
Yeah.
Definitely a 70-degree, nice sun and clouds, you know? So I don't know, a little mesh in there. I don't live in California. I do understand weather. So what about you, Mahira?
I kind of like the rain because I feel like it allows fun activities indoors, you know? Like the indoors just feels nicer when it's a little rainy outside, but you know, all weather's good. I'm lucky I get to experience all the weather.
I guess you're the opposite. I hate rain, but we'll see what people are feeling today.
Okay.
Where are you calling from, Mahira?
I'm right now in New Jersey, right outside Princeton, in my house.
Well, Midwest is the best. So any audience members in the Midwest, please give me a emoji in the chat.
And if you're from New Jersey, give a better emoji.
No, Chicago. Chicago? Yes, Carolyn. And then what song best describes your 2020 experience? These are some fun songs. I'm gonna say Mask Off but On.
Yeah. I'd say the same. It's a great song. And what should the COVID hack dress code be?
There's only one right answer. Who
Oh, Jersey greater than Chicago. Yes.
Who's trying to pit us against each other right now? This is not the way to go. Yes, please, Chicago is the best. Duke it out in the chat. And then what prize are you most excited for? Let's go. I'm just here for the Hydro Flask. To be honest, the Hydro Flask is a very nice prize.
I've never owned one, but
me neither.
Soon.
No Jersey is better than New Jersey. How do you feel about
well, that was a little uncalled for.
Well, thank you guys. Let's see what the results are.
How can we see?
Can we see the results?
I don't know.
Oh, there they are. Oh, a lot of people are feeling
cloudy. Interesting.
Honestly, I relate. I feel that. Oh, a lot of people calling from the East Coast, and then we didn't start the fire. Oh, I actually don't even know what that song is. So,
are you serious?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't worry, everyone. I will educate you, Jane, at the end of the opening ceremony.
Yeah. What's with all this East Coast talk? Let's go Midwest. And then, what should the COVID hack dress code be? It's on Zoom. I'm not changing out my pajamas. That is true. That is true. It is also 3 days, so keep on.
Also, if you're not on Zoom, it's okay not to change out of your pajamas, I feel like.
Yeah.
But, you know. So
many votes for the Hydro Flask. Honestly, I like you guys. Well, that was just a little quick break from the programming to kind of learn a little bit more about you guys and see where everybody's coming from and why you're here. The Hydro Flask I see is the main reason. We love to see that. But yeah, we'll now pass it on to Mayor Siddiqui for some awesome words. She's the mayor of Cambridge, and like President Rife said, we have been really honored to be under her leadership in Cambridge. So thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Great. Thank you so much for having me here today. What a week. So I want to just start by thanking MIT and all of you as we try to find solutions and ways to hack COVID-19. So it's been nearly a year of living with and leading through this pandemic. And though the city, we've tackled many areas, we've made progress in many areas, there's still a lot of work to do. So I'll share a little bit about what we've been able to do here and some of the things that we're hoping to keep doing. Though there are specific strategies we've collaborated on that directly impact MIT students, much of the important and necessary work we've started or done impacts the greater community at large, in which MIT students are a part of. And I believe if we fail one part of our community, we fail all of our community. So since March, the city's worked and deployed a lot of successful strategies to meet the needs of our residents and businesses in Cambridge. Some main strategies that have proven effective have involved keeping residents housed, keeping residents connected virtually to our city and each other, and providing free and accessible COVID-19 testing. And I haven't been able to do this work alone, and I'm so thankful for the various city departments or organizations, our institutions who have really leaned into the important work during this difficult time. Cambridge, it's my hometown, and I can't imagine how. Sometimes I'm like, how lucky are we here in Cambridge? We're so fortunate to be in a city that's home to such experts, biotech companies, global health organizations, and universities like MIT and Harvard and Lesley, And we're surrounded by innovative and creative thinking by those who run these organizations and the staff and the students who contribute to this work. And MIT particularly has been such a meaningful partner in so much of the work the city has been able to do. So another shout out to MIT and everyone who I've been able to work with there. And for me, the number one thing has been really keeping our most vulnerable residents at the top of my mind in all the work that we've been able to do. So in April, I helped relaunch the Mayor's Disaster Relief Fund to provide direct financial relief to families and individuals financially impacted by the pandemic. So many lost their jobs and so many were facing housing insecurity in those many early months. So to date, we've actually raised nearly $5 million with that fund. And these funds assisted residents, businesses, arts organizations, really through the generosity of MIT, of Cambridge residents, many businesses, so many foundations. And so we've been able to give out millions to help residents pay their rent, their utility bills, household expenses. $500,000 has gone directly to small businesses in conjunction with other funding. And we've continued to fundraise so we can open up to more applications, and we'll probably get past 5 million in the many months to go of this pandemic. We also launched a housing stabilization fund to further provide short-term financial assistance to residents facing housing instability, and opened a temporary emergency shelter for our unhoused residents. And those efforts were in addition to extending the eviction moratorium in our city and advancing the Tenants' Rights and Resources Notification Act in Cambridge so that landlords and tenants could work together to keep people housed during and after the public health crisis ends. So another thing that we've really focused on is keeping residents connected during this time. That's been incredibly important. We've all seen the mental health impacts across the country. So prioritizing connection in a safe way is really important to me. So our office launched a series of mental health forums. We also did in-person, socially distanced family resource fairs for our Cambridge Public School families. We hosted suicide prevention discussions citywide. We also worked with the Council on Aging to provide virtual resources for our seniors. And we wanted to make sure we connected with our seniors and connected them to food and supply delivery and weekly phone calls to make sure they did not feel completely alone. And we're also really, really indebted to the Broad Institute at MIT and Harvard because of a robust partnership with Cambridge Public Health, Cambridge Fire Department, and Pro EMS. We're able to provide free COVID-19 testing to Cambridge residents 7 days a week. And we've also brought testing to residents who live in neighborhoods that have higher COVID-19 case rates. So always keeping that access piece at the forefront. We've also been able to provide surveillance testing for all our Cambridge Public School staff twice a week in any building that's been open in person. So it's been a lot of different strategies we've employed. There's a lot of work that has to be done as the vaccine begins to roll out. I and the City Council are pushing a public messaging campaign in place to address the real concerns of our Black and Brown residents. The pandemic's disproportionate effects on Black and Brown residents has to be addressed through policies and ideas to ensure that they remain prioritized in our decision making, and that those decisions provide a positive impact in their lives. And so, throughout this pandemic, our team has realized, the challenges we're facing right now are challenges we've been facing from the beginning of the pandemic, before the beginning of the pandemic, education gaps, things, various inequities that have existed prior to. And now, we have to now really think about how these inequities have been further exacerbated. And so we have to meet these growing challenges head on with innovative solutions that last beyond the pandemic's lifespan. So those are some of the things that Cambridge has been able to do throughout this. We've had various partners like MIT who've helped us in this work. And so for me, my closing remarks, I'll just say that as you start developing your ideas during this weekend's COVID-19 hack, I want all of you to keep equity at the forefront of your ideas to address outdoor space use, virtual community, remote learning, and policy. So thank you so much for having me here today, and feel free to reach out to my office if I can ever be of service. I know a lot of people are in their respective cities, and some are in Cambridge. Hopefully one day when we're all back in the city, feel free to drop by and contact my office. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor Siddiqui.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. My name is Danielle Geathers, and I am president of the UA this year.
My name's Yu Jing, and I'm the vice president of the UA.
We are so excited to host MIT COVID Hack, and we're thrilled to hear that we will have over 500 participants this weekend.
We honestly didn't even know that many people would even know about the hackathon 2 weeks ago. And now I can't even get it off my Instagram feed. So that is progress and incredible. So that's all to say that to have all of you here with us today is such a blessing. And it's extremely powerful that we have all of you here today, ready to shape our spring semester. So I remember actually asking a couple of weeks ago, what would even motivate people to join something like this, to join us? And something a first year on the team told me really stuck with me, that the hack itself, the chance to make a difference in the campus you're coming into, was reason enough. And that's how we should always feel, that power to make the difference.
With over 10% of the undergraduate student body involved, we are eager to work with and learn from you as we come up with solutions for the biggest problems of the spring semester. 2021 has already begun to eclipse the unprecedented nature of 2020, and we must adapt to the new challenges of today. Now more than ever, we depend on each other to come up with our own solutions for the future and to improve our collective MIT experience. We now have the unique opportunity to shape our own experiences for the spring through this hackathon. We are all in this together, and through understanding individual experiences and student struggles of the fall, we can help to inspire the best ideas for the spring.
And so we really encourage you to take this opportunity to listen to each other and ask questions, learn, listen to your team members, your communities. A lot of you brought communities on board with the community challenge, and we're really excited for that. Listen to your friends and other hack participants to try to identify those underlying sources of challenges that we all face. And know that students have a history of affecting change in the Institute. And we have been instrumental in shaping MIT's COVID response thus far, from the grading policy to the adoption of pods that Dean Nelson spoke about earlier. But these policies and innovations didn't come to be just because somebody thought of it. Students came together and worked really hard to bring these ideas to life, bringing in different administrative offices, staff, faculty, other student communities. And what's magical about this weekend is that this weekend, incredible people are coming from all across the Institute for this reason and for this purpose, from students to admin to alum to corporation members. So really take advantage of that. The time is now to come together and make change. And if there was any group to solve a problem, it would be MIT.
We will be holding track ideation sessions to allow teams to discuss their experiences and to brainstorm tonight at 8:30 p.m. to facilitate this important dialogue. Throughout the weekend, we hope you leverage our wonderful experts who will play a key role in helping you craft your submissions. And we hope you attend the fireside chats tomorrow with Bob Langer and Andrew Dreyfus. Their COVID expertise will help inform your proposals and help to set you up for success. The UA is here to support and foster the development of ideas, so know that we are here to help in any way. Members of the UA government will be leading several events across the weekend, as well as helping to implement the winning ideas.
Now, some final details to get you started. Note that all communications will happen on the Slack. So make sure you're on the Slack. You should have all been invited, but if not, check out the hack packet. And make sure to finalize your teams and tracks by tomorrow at noon ET. The link to do so is also in your hack packet. So more of the story, all the things that you need are in that hack packet. So check it out.
Finally, thank you again for signing up, and we look forward to Sunday's closing ceremony. Now, let's get a more in-depth look at our 4 tracks. Woo, let's get hacking.
Woo!
Hello, everyone. We are excited you have chosen to participate in MIT COVID Hack. There are 4 tracks available in this hack. We will describe each in this video. What do you want campus to look like in the spring? In the Designing Outdoor Spaces track, you will have the opportunity to imagine spaces that enable students to be students, whether that's promoting safe and comfortable socialization, studying, reflecting, or otherwise. From activity spaces to hangout places, the physical spaces we inhabit impact all aspects of our lives. In this track, you can identify and develop spaces for students to safely socialize outdoors during the Cambridge winter. Especially as 3 classes come back to campus this spring, it's important that we develop COVID-safe spaces, whether it be to allow clubs and communities to interact with each other and share traditional experiences together, such as training as an athletic team or carrying out annual events, or to facilitate forming new communities, such as the case for 2024's. Some examples that are already in motion for the spring include catenary light installations, which are bistro-style lighting in pathways at the Stade and the Z Center, movable furniture, rotating sports at Jack Berry Fields, like mini golf, curling, and frisbee golf, and winter activities on the Daper Fields, such as cross-country skiing, snow people making, and sledding. Staying connected to peers proved a difficult task in the fall. Can you think of solutions to the online socialization problem? With the resources of the internet at your disposal, the Fostering Online Socialization and Community track enables you to improve our virtual social atmosphere because student organization meetings, group projects, PSIT parties, and several other social gatherings haven't been the same since March. Some examples of past and ongoing socialization projects include Fall 2020 Student Alumni Dinners with $25 food vouchers, the launching of MIT Connect, which is a grad student-developed resource for online social experiences, and MIT Coin, a gratitude amplifier, which empowers charitable causes by rewarding good deeds performed within the MIT community. We have become well acquainted with the challenge of remote learning, along with its related impacts like Zoom fatigue. Certainly, this was not the education we expected when we came to MIT, but that hasn't stopped us from making it work. Yet there's still room left for improvement, and that's where you come in. The Improving the Learning Experience track invites you to leverage technology and your own remote learning experiences to make remote learning more effective and enjoyable. You might take inspiration from efforts last spring and fall to improve MIT education, such as assuring access to crucial technology, including offering all undergraduates an iPad, reevaluation of course curricula, PSET partner matching programs, and increased advising by some departments. Indeed, an important lesson from previous virtual semesters is large-scale campus-wide campaigns are not the only avenues to improve remote learning. We need ideas that address glaring deficits on the local level, and nobody knows the details better than the students ourselves. Students are not always aware of MIT policy, especially as COVID has forced a rapid increase in the number of policies to keep track of. A lack of reliable access to current and new guidelines and restrictions might have negative consequences for student compliance and the public health situation on campus. By participating in the Communication of MIT Policy track, you are tasked with strengthening the connections between the student body and the myriad regulations we have to keep track of. Many students will be living on campus in the spring who have never lived on MIT's campus before. How can we prepare students to understand and comply with policies before they even step on campus? Proposals should communicate both the policy information and mechanisms to ensure compliance. Student-to-student communication is just as important as student-to-admin communication. Emails are not always super effective, so the best proposals will explore creative mediums to improve communication. Thank you for signing up for MIT COVID Hack, and happy hacking!
All right, so we hope you have a little bit of a better sense of the 4 tracks. The events for tonight start in about 18 minutes with the 7 to 8 p.m. team formation event for those of you who haven't yet made their teams. And then 8 to 8:30, a how to craft an effective proposal session led by the UA. And finally, 8:30 to 9:30, that session is optional, a track ideation session. So we wish you the best and happy hacking. Bye, everyone.
Do you think I'm batshit crazy having you on my mind? Do you think I'm helpless? My algebra gon' equal you every time. Do you think I'm calling? Do you think I'm calling out your name every night? Girl, I've fallen for you.
Oh my God, baby, baby, don't you see? I got everything you need. Only a genius could love a woman like you. Oh my God, baby, baby, don't you see? I got everything you need. Only a genius could love a woman like you. He's a genius. 'Cause I love a woman like you. He's a genius. 'Cause I love a woman like you. See ya. You've been my Einstein, my Newton, my Galileo, and my Hawkins. Boy, put the pep in my step, put your arm on my neck while I'm walking. Please understand, yeah, I'm falling for you. Oh my God, baby, baby, don't you see? I got everything you need. Only a genius could love a woman like me. Oh my God, baby, baby, don't you see? I got everything you need. Only a genius could love a woman like me. He's a genius. 'Cause I love a woman like you. He's a genius. 'Cause I love a woman like you. Oh my God, dot the I's and cross the T's. I got everything you need. Well, only a genius could love a woman like, oh my God. You're the lock and I'm the key. I got everything you need. Well, only a genius could love a woman like me. 'Cause I love a woman like you. He's a genius. 'Cause I love a woman like you.
Born in the time of love, facing the winds of fate, storms brewing up above. I was breaking, I was begging, just to raise you up from the grave of your mistakes. Pleasure is a kind of pain. Have I had enough? 'Cause I keep wrestling with snakes. Sick of all the slippery stuff. Are you Jekyll and Hyde in me?